Hello students, this is the third part of simple equation. In our previous part, we have studied the equality of an equation remains hold if we add, subtract, multiply or divide both sides of the equation by same non-zero number. Also there we have studied what are the steps that we should follow in order to separate the variable in a given equation and how to solve a particular equation. So proceeding in the same way, we will try to solve exercise 4.3. So let us start with first question. So our first question is solve the following equations and we have the following parts A, B and C. So let us try to solve each of these parts one by one. Solution. Here you can see that we have given 2y plus 5 by 2 equals to 37 by 2. And first we have to separate the variable in order to find the solution of a given equation. So what is our step 1? So step 1. In step 1, we will subtract 5 by 2 from both sides of the equation. So let us write subtract 5 by 2 from both sides. So what we can write? 2y plus 5 by 2 minus 5 by 2 equals to 37 by 2 minus 5 by 2. So it implies that 5 by 2 and minus 5 by 2 cancel out each other and we have only 2y in the left hand side, while in right hand side we have here the LCM is 2 and here we can write 37 minus 5. So it comes out to be 37 minus 5 is 32 by 2. So it implies that 2y is equals to 32 by 2 is 16. But again you can see that here in the left hand side we have 2y instead of y. So in order to obtain y in left hand side, step 2 is that we have to divide both sides by 2. So what we get? 2y by 2 equals to 16 by 2, which implies that here 2 and 2 is cancelled out. So we have y is equals to 16 by 2 is 8. So this is our solution. In the same way, let us try to solve the next part. So our next part is we have given 6z plus 10 equals to minus 2. So first we have to separate the variable. So step 1 is that step 1. In step 1, subtract 10 from both sides. So what we can write? 6z plus 10 minus 10 is equals to minus 2 minus 10. So it implies that here 10 and 10 is cancelled out. So we have only 6z equals to minus 2 and minus 10 comes out to be minus 12. But again you can see that we have 6z in the left hand side instead of z. So what is our step 2? In step 2, divide both sides by 6 in order to obtain z only in the left hand side. So what we get? 6z divided by 6 equals to minus 12 divided by 6. So it implies that 6 and 6 is cancelled out and here z is equals to minus 2. So this is our solution. Now let us see the next part. So in the next part we have given 2b by 3 minus 5 equals to 3. So step 1, in step 1 what we do, add 5 to both sides. So what we can write, 2b by 3 minus 5 plus 5 equals to 3 plus 5, which implies that 2b by 3, and here minus 5 and plus 5 cancel out, and here on the right hand side we have 3 plus 5 equals to 8. Now what is our step 2? In step 2, multiply by 3 on both sides. So what we can write, 2b by 3 into 3 equals to 8 into 3. So here 3 and 3 is cancel out, and what we have, 2b equals to 8 into 3, that is 24. But again you can see that we have 2b instead of b in the left hand side. So what is our step 3? In step 3, divide both sides by 2. So what we can write, 2b by 2 equals to 24 by 2. So here 2 and 2 is cancel out, and it implies that b is equals to 24 by 2 is 12. So this is our solution. The next question we have, solve the following equation, and we have the following parts. So let us solve each part one by one. Solution. So here you can see that we have given 3 and minus 5 equals to 21, where n is the variable and we have to separate the variable n. So our first step is step 1. Divide both sides by 3. So let us divide 3 and minus 5 divided by 3 equals to 21 by 3, which implies that 3 and 3 is cancelled out, so we have n minus 5 equals to 21 by 3 is 7. But again here you can see that we have n minus 5 in the left hand side instead of n. So what we do, our step 2 is that adding 5 to both sides. Add 5 to both sides. So what we get, n minus 5 plus 5 equals to 7 plus 5. It implies that here we have only n, and on the right hand side 7 plus 5 is equals to 12. So what we get, n is equals to 12. So this is our solution. Now let us try to solve the next part in the same way. So in the next part we have given minus 4 into 2 plus x is equals to 8, where x is the variable. So step 1 is that, step 1, dividing both sides, divide both sides by minus 4. So what we get, minus 4 into 2 plus x divided by minus 4 equals to 8 divided by minus 4. So it implies that minus 4 and minus 4 cancel out. So what we have, 2 plus x equals to minus 8. 8 by minus 4 is equals to minus 2. Now you can see that in the left hand side we have 2 plus x instead of x. So what is our step 2? In step 2 we have to subtract 2 from both sides. So what we get, let us see, So 2 plus x minus 2 is equals to minus 2 and minus 2. So it implies that 2 and 2 is minus 2 is cancelled out. So we have only x in the left hand side, while in the right hand side we have minus 2, that is minus 4. So this is our solution. In the same way, third question from the exercise 4.3, we have solve the following equations, and we have these two parts. So let us solve each of these one by one. So here you can see that we have given 16 is equals to 4 plus 3 into t plus 2, where t is the variable. Now students, you know that here 16 is the LHS and 4 plus 3 times t plus 2 whole is RHS. And also you know that if we interchange LHS and RHS, then there is no effect on the equation. So let us interchange the LHS and RHS in this equation for our convenience. So when we interchange, so what we get, we can write the RHS in the left hand side, that is 4 plus 3 times t plus 2, and on the right hand side we have the LHS, that is 16. Okay. Now we will try to separate the variable t from this equation. So what is our step 1 in order to separate the variable t? In step 1, subtract 4 from both sides. So let us see what we get. So here we can write 4 plus 3 times t plus 2 is equals minus we are subtracting 4. So here we can write minus 4 equals to 16 minus 4. So what it implies that here 4 and minus 4 cancel out. So we have only 3 times t plus 2 equals to 16 minus 4 is 12. Again you can see that we have in the left hand side 3 times t plus 2, not only t. So what is our step 2? In step 2, divide both sides by 3, and let us see what we get. So here we can write 3 times t plus 2 divided by 3 equals to 12 divided by 3, which implies that 3 and 3 is cancelled out. So we have t plus 2 equals to 12 by 3 is 4. Okay. Now again we have to apply step 3 in order to obtain t only in the left hand side. So what we do, subtract 2 from both sides. So we can write t plus 2 minus 2 is equals to 4 minus 2, which implies that 2 and minus 2 cancel out. So we have only t on the left hand side, and on the right hand side 4 minus 2 we have 2. So this is our solution. Now let us see the next part in the same way. So in the next part we have given 4 plus 5 times p minus 1 equals to 34, where p is the variable. So we have to separate the variable p. So what is step 1? In step 1, subtract 4 from both sides. So what we can write, 4 plus 5 times p minus 1 minus 4 equals to 34 minus 4. So here it implies that 4 and minus 4 cancel out. So we have 5 times p minus 1 equals to 34 minus 4 is 30. Now what is our step 2? In step 2, let us divide both sides by 5. So divide both sides by 5 in order to obtain p minus 1. So what we can write, 5 times p minus 1 divided by 5 equals to 30 by 5. So it implies that 5 and 5 is cancelled out. So we have p minus 1 equals to 30 by 5 is 6. Now again you can see that we have p minus 1 in the left hand side instead of p only. So what we do in step 3, we add 1 to both sides. Why we are adding 1 to both sides? In order to obtain p only in the left hand side. So what we can write, p minus 1 plus 1 equals to 6 plus. So it implies that minus 1 and plus 1 cancel out. So we have p and it is equals to 6 plus 1, that is 7. So this is our solution. And the last question from the exercise 4.3, we have construct a equation starting with x equals to 2. So it means that we have to make 3 equations starting with x is equals to 2 by performing some operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division in this equation x equals to 2. So let us see the solution. So here we have given x is equals to 2. If we multiply both sides by 3, then what we get? 3 into x equals to 2 into 3. So it implies that 3x equals to 6. Again, subtract 5 from both sides. So what we can write? 3x minus 5 is equals to 6 minus 5, which implies that 3x minus 5 equals to 6 minus 5 is 1. So this is our one equation from the equation x equals to 2. Let us make 2 more equation with x equals to 2. So again we have given x is equals to 2. Now divide both sides. Divide both sides by 2. So what we get? X by 2 is equals to 2 by 2. It implies that x by 2 equals to 1. Again add 7 to both sides. So what we get? X by 2 plus 7 equals to 1 plus 7, which implies that x by 2 plus 7 equals to 8. So this is one more equation starting from the equation x is equals to 2. So we have made 2 equations with the help of x equals to 2. Now let us make one more equation from x equals to 2. So again we have x is equals to 2. Now at this time let us multiply both sides. Multiply both sides by 10. So what we get? X into 10 equals to 2 into 10. It implies that 10x is equals to 20. Now let us subtract 3 from both sides. So what we get? 10x minus 3 equals to 20 minus 3, which implies that 10x minus 3 equals to 20 minus 3 is 17. So this is the third equation which we have make or construct with the help of equation x equals to 2. So these are the 3 equations that we have construct with the help of equation x is equals to 2. Now students, rest of the question you have to solve by yourself. Thank you.